But after Germany, you moved on to France for an extended period. Four different
Yeah.
teams, all in the top division in France. So you have a little bit different experience, even though you were in the same league for 4 years in a row. A lot of people that listen to the pod may know that getting a multi-year deal with a club is a little bit of a rarity. So that's not necessarily by itself anything that's unusual. But you do get to
Right.
stay in one spot for 4 years. Well, one country for 4 years anyway. The first one in 2017 to 2018. Before you kind of got the lay of the land in the next few seasons, what was your sort of introduction to pro basketball in France? So you'd been kind of close to the line your season prior, but this is your first season actually playing in LNB Pro A. What was that experience like?
Man, it was great. My agent had recommended that I had go to France and leave Germany because he said the pace there is different. It's a lot faster. You're dealing with a lot more athletes. It's an up and down game. It fits how I like to play. So he told me it was going to be great, and the spot I was going to go to, it's right on the water. It's off the Mediterranean. So I feel like it was a great opportunity, and France is my home. I live there now, so um, yeah, it was the best decision I've made in my life so far. One of the best decisions.
Good save.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So you do spend the next 4 seasons in France. Take us through kind of year by year what sort of the differences are between the different clubs that you played for. Some of them are a little bit more known than others in terms of like as an American looking in on them. But take us through sort of what the contrasts are between the seasons, because you're also getting the COVID season in the midst of being in
Yeah,
France, and what you're saying in terms of having the familiarity with France leading up to that has to be a good thing, because a lot of times people, no matter where they played, whether they were playing in the same country, before COVID season hit, whether they came back to it, or if it was a country that they'd been in before previously in their career, you've really got kind of a unique experience where you've been kind of building in France, and there was some level of familiarity that. And so if you could kind of take us through what your COVID story was as it sort of hit, and hopefully I'm assuming that there wasn't too much additional of a hardship for you, given the fact that you were pretty familiar with living over there by that particular time.
well, yeah. I mean, like I said, the first season I was out there, I was by the water. I was in Antibes, France. Um, Great experience. Kind of a lower budget team, but it was in the first division, so it was just an opportunity. But that's probably the club I'll probably go back to when I want to coach, or I want to be a general manager when I'm finished playing basketball. So that's probably the club I'll try to use my connections with. I met my wife there. She had worked partner for the club, so I met my wife, you know, there through the club. Um, so Antibes was great. I go back there every year. I live in Nice, France, so it's like 15 minutes away. So whenever I'm back home over the summer, I'll go back to Antibes to train. Then the following year, I went to Chalon-sur-Saône. It's a pretty well-known club. Malcolm Delaney, I'm sure you guys know about him. He played
Mhm.
there. Um, so I went there. It was a great experience. It's kind of in the middle of France. It's really known for its wine. It's in that area, in the Burgundy area. Um, I had a great time there. And then I went to a pretty big club in Limoges, CSP Limoges. I played there with Marcus Ginyard. He's from the area where you guys are from. Great guy, love him. And Limoges was a great experience. It's a big club that demands a lot out of its players. I grew a lot mentally up there. Uh, they love basketball there. So then after that, I kind of did a taboo thing. I went to Pau, and Pau and Limoges are like a big time rival. They despise each other. So kind of think of Duke in North Carolina, or think of a kid transferring from Duke and going to North Carolina. It was kind of like that. It was exactly like that. So when I had a 2-year deal in Limoges, but I had opted out of my second year deal, and I went to Pau. So that was kind of just like, it was blasphemous for the Limoges fans. So when I made that move, a lot of the Limoges fans were emailing my wife, tweeting me, tweeting my wife, tweeting everybody, cussing me out, calling me all kinds of names, all kinds of dogs. So then my last year I played in Pau, France, and it's a beautiful city. And that was a great experience as well.
Hello, and thanks for watching. Be sure to give the video a like, and you can watch more videos over here. You can also click subscribe over here so you're notified when we have new content here on Expat Hoops.